So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use expressions to really quickly add in some looped animation. Expressions are a way of typing a bit of code into a keyframe to ask it to either loop on a cycle, to loop in a ping pong format so it goes back and forth, or loop on an offset so it continues the movement that it was making previously. So in this, say for example, like I'm looking at this, I want the wheels to rotate. I've temporarily turned off the motion of the car so that way you can see that this works a little bit more clearly. So I'm going to go to the wheel and I can choose specific keyframes or keyframe options by using hotkeys like P for position, R for rotation, T for transparency, and S for scale, and E for effects. So I want the rotation. And I'm going to start off by just doing a rotation here and jump forward to, I'm going to hit plus to zoom into the timeline. And it zooms in right to where your blue playhead is. So at 1 second, I'm going to say, give me one rotation. So this will be one full rotation. So we'll see this front wheel do one rotation and then stop. So if I wanted to, loop that action, I could do something like copy Command C, Command V, and I'm pasting it again, right? This is not efficient. So what I'm going to do is when I have my keyframe set up and I want to set my keyframes to start off, is hover over the stopwatch, and we don't want to click it again without anything pressed. We want to click it when holding down either Alt or Option. And that's going to open up a window for us to apply an expression. And here, this is something I've memorized, but on the sheet, the cheat sheet that I provided with you, that's a PDF on the list inside this document, there's the whole list of what you can do. So I'm going to write loop out, and notice that it's camel case, so the O is capital, parentheses, and then inside cycle, because I want it to loop over and over again, since it's a full rotation. Now when I click out, and I can't press escape or enter, I have to actually click out of that dialog box. I press spacebar, and it's going to take a second to render. I'm going to drop this down to 1/4 so it runs a little bit faster. You'll see that it's continuing to rotate. Here we go. Let's jump back. Right? So it's continuing to rotate even though I haven't set any keyframes here. So that's pretty awesome. If I want to slow it down or speed it up, I just drag the keyframes closer together. If I drag them really close together like this, we're going to get a super fast one. And if I drag them farther apart, now they're going to go a lot more slowly. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. Select it, press R, and if I hold down Shift, it'll snap to the keyframe below it. So you'll see it snaps here. Initialize it, jump forward. I could even copy and paste it here since it's the same keyframe, but I think it's a little bit better to just redo it here. Hold down Alt, select the stopwatch, loop out, parentheses, cycle. And so now we'll get the same thing on both of them, moving together. Now say for example, I wanted the driver to jump up and down. What I can do is go to the driver and I would want to adjust the position. So I'm going to hit P and position, and it's going to start down low, and then I want it to go up a little bit. So I'm going to have him go kind of jump up. And Command plus to zoom in. Let's look at this at full render. So his motion is going to be up. Now let's see what happens if I do cycle here. Hold down Alt or Option, loop out, parentheses, and quotes, cycle. Notice that it'll jump up and then set back to the beginning. It's not that smooth, and it's rendering a little bit slowly. So here, right? I mean, that kind of works because he's a minion. But if I want it to be a little bit more smoother, I would, instead of cycle, go inside here and type in ping pong. And now it'll go to this keyframe and then go backwards. So now we'll see it's a lot more smooth. Huge difference. If you used offset instead, this is one of the other ones, it'll continue the sort of trajectory that it had and keep going. So offset inside here. It's just going to keep moving forward. So see you later, dude. So now ping pong, I just did Command Z to go back, and that one works pretty well. So now that we've got that kind of moving, I'm going to put it all together and animate my car front again by doing position, and I'm going to drag it back here, holding down shift and jumping forward. We'll do 4 seconds just for it to come out in the middle. And we'll see all of those things combined together. So the wheels are turning, characters jumping, and you only had to do a couple keyframes. You didn't have to do a lot. That's the basics of expressions.